a meeting of the Executive Member for Finance and Performance, held in consultation with the Executive Member for Housing and Safe Neighbourhoods on Monday the 8th of November. Item 1 on the agenda is declarations of interest. I have no interest to declare. Okay. Item 2 is to approve the minutes of the meeting held on the 13th of September. I'm happy to agree those as a true record. I'll send those at a later date. Item 3, public participation. We have nobody registered to speak, so I'll go straight to item 4, the Household Support Fund, and to David Ward.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair. This report presents the Council's Household Support Fund scheme. The government announced on the 7th of October that a new Household Support Fund grant will be made available to county councils and ESG authorities. This grant runs from the 6th of October through to the 31st of March. At least 50% of the total funding must be spent on families with children, and the funding received by City of York Council is some £1,037,000. The scheme is primarily aimed at food, energy and water bills, but can be used for other essential costs. It follows on really on the winter support grant and the local COVID support grant that we've had over the last 12 months. We've tried to mitigate as much as possible the need for residents to apply. This supports the feedback we've had from the third sector and customers, given the number of schemes we've run over the last 12 months since COVID. We will, where possible, try and make automatic payments to customers as we do to the local COVID support scheme, and that's families who are in receipt of council tax support and other means-tested benefits. The scheme in itself is set out at Annex A, and the government guidance at Annex B, and the EIA is set out at the Equalities Assessment at Annex C. In terms of the direct payments to residents, we will make those payments in December, before Christmas, and in February. Whilst we will make direct payments, the scheme is open to all residents of the city. That includes families with or without children, and also single people. People do not need to be in receipt of WP benefit to make an application, and we'll judge each application with its own merits. The online claim form for people who wish to apply online will go live on Monday the 15th, which is next Monday. In terms of the scheme, we have discussed this with the Council's charity, voluntary and community sector partners, Advice York, and the way in which we want to make the direct payments reflect our thoughts in terms of getting monies to families as quickly and simply as possible. We've also discussed the scheme with North Yorkshire County Council, because they obviously distribute through our neighbouring authorities, to make sure that there's no, postcode lottery. The schemes are similar. And in that vein, the one change to the last two schemes we've run is that in line with the North Yorkshire Warm and Well scheme, we have provided funding, £20,000 of funding for fuel vouchers, which we provide through our third sector partners, which at this point will be CAY and York Energy Advice. So the recommendation of the report is asking the executive member to approve the council's housing support fund scheme at Annex A, the allocation of the £20,000 funding to the fuel voucher scheme, the delegation of discretion to pay claims made within the broad scope of the scheme to the head of customer exchequer services. In terms of the broader scheme, Annex B, the government set out that you can make additional payments for things like blankets, soap, boiler repairs, etc. So rather than just bringing those back every time, it's just to allow that scheme to be managed by myself and the services. Thank you.
Yes, just some brief comments. I really welcome this scheme, and I welcome the fact the government has come up with this money, even if it was last minute. But I'm also very pleased that we're able to get those funds out as quickly as possible, and that we're making sure that that can happen that way through the automatic payments, but also that there is the discretion to broaden the scheme to other people in need. I think it's quite right, it's focused on people in need of help with food, energy and water bills, but it is also helpful we have that discretion. And I'm particularly pleased that we're able to respond to the current hike in energy prices by allocating that £20,000 for fuel vouchers as part of that scheme, and that we're getting that out to people through voluntary sector partners, and that we're able to combine that funding with advice in terms of how to save energy both this winter and longer term. So I think that's very positive, and it'll be really interesting to see how that goes and get the evaluation and feedback on that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be brief. Just to thank officers for the work they've put in. I think I've lost track of how many last minute schemes we've had to design as well, but implements within. It's sort of thinking in a retrospective way, so I know sort of the things that happen in the background to actually make sure this money comes in and goes out, we can really successfully think. As Council Title said, get that money to people's bank accounts as quickly as possible. It really is important and much needed for this particular time. So, I think with that one, happy to review recommendations at paragraph 2. Councillor Craig, you're welcome to stay for item 5 on procurement strategy, but you're equally welcome to go, and everyone will take it personally.
I shall take the opportunity to go back to business conference.
Did they? If you didn't want to stay, probably you're not welcome to. We're just even starting personally now.
At least you got your phone.
So we now want to go to item 5, which is the corporate procurement strategy and social value strategy, and over to the Commission.
Yeah, so this report just asks you to approve some minor amendments to both the procurement strategy and the social value policy. Apologies that the documents needed to track changes on, but I'm not sure that's shown fully in the agenda. But we'll rectify that for future ones. It's a bit complicated to organise, I think. So on the procurement strategy, we've just made a few tweaks. We've updated for some changes in directorate names and job titles. We've also added in some additional text under, I think, developing our markets to pick up that we need to continue to support the creation of new businesses, jobs and skills. And under making it easy to do business, we've added that we also want to help improve our local suppliers' diversity, innovation, resilience. I've also outlined in the report that the government's issued a green paper on the future of public sector procurement in light of the UK's departure from the European Union, and it's therefore considered sensible to wait for the outcome of that green paper before a more thorough review and overhaul of the strategy takes place, if that's required in light of any legislative changes. And on the social value policy, again, relatively minor amendments. We've again added in about the creation of new businesses, jobs and skills, along with a more clearer reference to tackling climate change, reducing waste, and again improving supplier diversity, innovation and resilience. Under the vibrant cultural offer, we've also added in further examples in retaining and developing talent and supporting the development of an effective and engaging network of artists, musicians, etc. All to sort of reflect the importance of, in this city, of culture in terms of generating economic activity. So that was it, and we just asked to approve these amendments to the policy.
There are a lot of concerns around paragraph 19 that you took to scrutiny in April. I know scrutiny previously have raised lots of issues and questions with me in the past. Was there much feedback from that scrutiny meeting in terms of changes to the policy?
No, they were broadly supportive of the policy. I think we added in a few bits around the kind of creating diversity and resilience, so all their comments have been reflected, but there weren't too many. They were broadly happy.
Okay, so with that, obviously happy to approve the recommendations at paragraph 4. Okay, so with that, I have no urgent business, so I'm happy to declare the meeting closed.